Hi, I'm Dr. John Douillard, founder of LifeSpa.com, where we prove ancient medical wisdom with modern science. And in my upcoming talk called Ayurvedic Breast Health Through Digestion, Breathing, and Lymph, I talk about how in Ayurvedic medicine, 85% of all diseases are caused by an underlying digestive issue. Think about it. Do you have food intolerances? Can you digest wheat, greasy fried food? You know, our digestive system, our strength of our digestive system is linked to our ability to detoxify. And in 2019, the EPA reported that 70 million tons of toxic chemicals are dumped into our atmosphere every year, all of which are fat soluble. So if you can't eat wheat and you have indigestion from that, it's a good indication you're not breaking down the proteins that you should. If you can't eat greasy fried food, not that you should, but we should be able to, right? If we have a good, strong digestion, that means that, and I can not eat those foods, but what about all the pollutants in our environment? Those go undigested. The undigested proteins go undigested into our small intestine. They're too big to get into your blood, and where do they go? They get uptaken into the garbage can, your lymphatic system. And the lymph will dump those fats into the fat around your belly and your hips, but also into your breast tissue. And why is that important? Well, your lymphatic system is the garbage can. It's the drainage system for everything in your body. And the most important lymphatic pumper in your body is breathing. In particularly, the big muscle of breathing, your diaphragm. In one study, a significant number of folks with breast cancer had lymph congestion in the anterior diaphragmatic lymph nodes. So if that diaphragm is not contracting and relaxing fully, you're going to get congestion in the lymph nodes in your chest. In the diaphragm, there's a breathing technique in Western medicine called inspiratory muscle training, used in every hospital in the world for heart failure, lung failure, and certain types of digestive concerns. And in Ayurvedic medicine, that exact same breathing technique is called pratyoloma. Now, when you contract your diaphragm completely, you bring air all the way down into the lower lobes of your lungs, which is where the parasympathetic rest, rebuild, digest nervous system lies. A significant number of folks with breast cancer have been found to have digestive imbalances. So you have to not just look at the cancer or the breast health itself. You got to look at the underlying upstream causes, which is what Ayurvedic medicine is all about. So we evaluate. We're going to troubleshoot every single aspect of your digestive system and give you foods, plant-based foods. Ayurveda is all about a plant-based diet. Foods that are going to help rebuild your digestive strength in your stomach, your liver, production of bile, your pancreatic, duodenal enzymes, your intestinal skin, the lining, your protective barrier, and your lymphatic system can all be supported and rejuvenated with proper foods, with proper plant-based foods. So we're going to go through how the lymphatic system works. It's a carrier of your immune system. It's a deliverer of good fats to every cell of your body for baseline energy. So if you're tired, you may not be delivering those fats into your cells as energy, maybe storing them in the wrong places, like in your breast, your hips, and your belly. But also, what about all the environmental pollutants? The mercury from the coal mine plumes are fat soluble. If you can't break down and deliver the good fats, what do we do with the bad fats? And that's where we need to understand how to restore the function of digestion and your lymph. And then, of course, the most important thing is your breathing. You know, most people overbreathe. We end up, because we sit around a lot, we don't move like we once did, we breathe really shallow in the upper chest. We don't activate our diaphragm. In fact, it's so prevalent that in one study with elite athletes, half of them had a diaphragm that wasn't contracting and relaxing fully. So if they don't have it, probably you and I don't either. So a breathing technique to force the diaphragm to contract. And in hospitals, that breathing technique called inspiratory muscle training will force that diaphragm to contract. I'll teach you just a little bit of that right now, and we'll go into detail. That breathing technique is so simple. So you can practice this. You take your two fingers and you pinch your nostrils, and you breathe in as deeply as you can against resistance of your nostrils. That resistance will force your diaphragm to contract in a way that it hasn't contracted before. So you let it out through your nose and then breathe in again. All the way in and then let it out. And do that about 10 times. If you could do that about 10 times twice a day and feel your diaphragm contract when you're breathing all the way. I don't think you guys have taken breaths that deep in a long time. And by partially closing your nostrils, you create that resistance that will make that diaphragm contract and relax. And we do it 26,000 times per day, right? Now, we all know that cancers thrive in a hypoxic, low oxygen environment. Well, studies have been done, many of them have been done on breathing techniques, Ayurvedic, Yogic breathing techniques, and they show one of the major things that they do is they increase oxygen saturation. And that's what we want, not oxygen in your blood. A lot of us are really good at breathing in a bunch of oxygen. In fact, we breathe out 75% of the oxygen we breathe in. We don't use what we breathe in. Where does it all go? It all gets stuck in our blood, on our hemoglobin molecules, and we never get that oxygen from as efficiently as we could from the blood into your tissues, into your breast, into your brain, into your muscles. And that's where Ayurvedic breathing techniques come in. The breathing technique of pratyoloma has been studied to increase something called intermittent hypoxia, which has been shown to increase stem cells. Stem cell is cellular repair and rejuvenation. The Nobel Prize winning panacea molecule nitric oxide. When Lance Armstrong got busted for injecting EPO, erythropoietin, as well as transcription factors called the guardian of your genome. So if you're looking at genetic predispositions for breast health, you want to make sure that you have the right balance of oxygen and CO2 in your body. I'm going to talk to you all about how to do that from the Ayurvedic perspective. We're going to run a fine-tooth comb through every aspect of your digestion and use foods to fix it. We're going to talk about your lymphatic system and troubleshoot your lymph. Do you have rings getting tight on your fingers, rashes, allergies, hypersensitivity reactions, tired, lethargy, extra weight around your belly, cellulite? These are all lymph concerns. And if we're going to talk about how to fix that with a plant-based diet and certain specific foods. My name is Dr. John Douillard. I went to India in 1986 for a year and a half and studied Ayurvedic medicine there. I came back and ran Dr. Deepak Chopra's Ayurvedic cancer clinic for 8 years, and then came to Boulder, Colorado, where I live now, and I run lifespa.com, where we take ancient medical wisdom and we do our best to prove it with modern science. And that's what I write about. We have thousands of articles and videos on my website for free. We have over 10 million YouTube views and hundreds of thousands of subscribers on my newsletter. So please check it out at lifespa.com on breast health from the Ayurvedic perspective.